My name is Jane Mufamadi. I'm the CEO of Freedom Park, which is a cultural institution under the Department of Arts and Culture. The mandate of Freedom Park is to honor those who died for freedom and humanity. It came about when President Mandela in 1999 said the day should not be far off when we shall have a people's shrine, a freedom park where we shall honor with all the dignity those who endured pain, so we should enjoy the joy of freedom. And that captures the essence of Freedom Park. We're about honoring and giving the dignity for those people who died, who were killed during the struggle for freedom. But as an agency of the Department of Arts and Culture, our secondary mandate is also to contribute to social cohesion, nation building and reconciliation, because we know that with all the struggle, with all the challenges and during the apartheid government, there was no opportunity for South Africans in their diversity to get to know each other. So that is what we really are all about. What we are currently doing as Freedom Park, it's the main projects that we are focused on, particularly in the current year. It's really the honoring of the heroes and the heroines of the liberation struggle. With this project, we are saying that all the people, the relatives of those people who died, need to come at least once and see Freedom Park, because at Freedom Park, our main memorial is the Wall of Names, which currently have 139,000 names of the people who died across the 8 conflicts that shaped what we call South Africa today. However, after this inscription, there was no opportunity to the majority of relatives and family members to come and pay tributes, to come and see that as a government, we were able to say thank you to the sacrifices, to the families in particular. So this is a project that will take about 5 to 10 years, where we'll bring families in groups of about 2,500 at a time to come and say thank you on behalf of the South African government. The other projects that we also focused on currently is the collection and inscription of the names of particularly members of SADC. As you recall that the liberation struggle was fought in different forms. There was underground struggle, mass struggle. There was also international solidarity, where many countries, particularly in SADC, also assisted South Africans during the time of need. During that time, there were also a lot of raids by the apartheid government, where nationals of those countries were also killed during the hunt, if I may call, for South Africans. Therefore, Freedom Park does not only honor South Africans, we also honor those who, as part of international solidarity, assisted us. So the main focus for the current year is also to collect the names of those nationals, like the Botswana, the Swazi people, Zimbabweans, Tanzanians, Angolans, and so forth, because they also sacrificed for South Africa to be free. So those are the main projects that we are focused on. However, locally, we're also embarking on community outreach, community conversations, and also dialogues. We recently just had a dialogue with the so-called colored community. As the nation may have, that there were lots of complaints from that angle that they are isolated, they are not part of government. So we sat with the leaders from the communities to find out what are the challenges, what is it that we need to do, because that is part of our mandate for social cohesion and reconciliation. Recently, last week on the 16th of April, as part of our Freedom Day celebrations, in partnership and led by the Thabo Mbeki Foundation, we also had conversations with the Afrikaner community, mainly AfriForum and Solidarity, the Voortrekker Monument as well, where we were looking at the role of the Afrikaner communities in the new South Africa, particularly their role in social cohesion and nation building, and also to understand what are their concerns, what are the challenges, and what is it that we can do as a nation to come together so that we can be a fully diverse and reconciled nation. So these are part of the programs that we do. We have a team of outreach officers who goes to communities. We know there are many challenges. We have the Vuani issues that we're also dealing with. And also we work with traditional leaders where communities are faced with conflicts and challenges. We see it as our role and part of our mandate to try and have a dialogue with the nation so that the nation can come together. Because one of the challenges that we have realized as South Africans is that more often we tend to talk through the media, but we don't sit around the table and discuss issues of concern so that we can move forward. So those are some of the projects that we are looking at. We are very excited that as part of our mandate and as part of the Department of Arts and Culture, the highlight as part of our celebration for Freedom Month, and also as we celebrate 25 years of our democracy, the department has decided that the handover, the repatriation of Radio Freedom from Madagascar will be housed at Freedom Park. There is no higher honor for us as Freedom Park and acknowledgement than that. We're very excited because actually within our museum, which we call Tapo, Tapo means dream, and we took this from a Khoi proverb that says a dream is not a dream until it is shared by the entire community. So within Tapo, we narrate the story of Africa, of South Africa, dating back 3.6 billion years, from the beginnings, from creation. And we have done it through the seven epochs. One of the epochs talks again about the struggle for liberation. And this is where we think this is a perfect space for Radio Freedom to be exhibited, for the nation to see this powerful tool that the ANC at the time, Umkhonto we Sizwe at the time, came up with as a means to allay and address the issues around propaganda and misinformation that the apartheid government embarked on misleading the nation, the communities, and the world about the real issues that was happening in South Africa. So Radio Freedom became one aspect that gave people hope and inspiration not to give up, but also to inform the world about the true state of nature at the time. So there is no highest honor and historical artifact like Radio Freedom. We do know that there are other equipments in other countries like Angola, Tanzania, and Zambia, and we hope that we will still get the equipment. But the repatriation of this equipment from Madagascar, it's a first step in the right direction, and we're very excited about that. The celebration of this month, which we call Freedom Month, and also as we know that we're marking almost the 25-year anniversary of our democracy as we prepare to go to the elections. We believe that South Africans from all walks of life must first pause and reflect. Where do we come from as a nation? Where are we and where do we want to go? And there is no better place to learn about our past in terms of our history, our culture, our heritage, and our spiritualities like Freedom Park. And therefore, we are actually offering free entrance on the 27th of April at Freedom Park. I just want to say for all South Africans, if you don't know where you come from, then it's difficult for you to know who you are. It's also difficult for you to really chart a way forward, a future. Through Freedom Park, we tell the story of hope, the story of the triumph of the human spirit. And we are saying, irrespective of who you are in terms of your culture, your creed, your belief system, if you come to Freedom Park, you find yourself reflected one way or the other, because we are all about diversity, celebrating our diversity, celebrating our freedom, and also celebrating what we are all about, the Rainbow Nation. And I just want to say, all South Africans, please come to Freedom Park at least once in your lifetime, and you will find yourself reflected one way or the other, and you'll be inspired, whether you are black, white, Indian, colored, or whatever color or culture. That is our home. That is a shrine for all, not just South Africans, but all Africans and the diaspora.